Hi everybody, I'm Maggie. This is Cycle 1, Week 9 Geography, and we are learning about China. And so for China this week, we are talking about Mongolia, the Yellow Sea, Yellow River, Yangtze River, and Beijing. Now, how are we learning this in class? How are we talking about it at home? Let me give you a few tips and things that I've been doing that have been really helpful. First, let's start with a song. We're learning the parts of and areas of China by using the song from Mulan, and it's called You Bring Honor to Us All, and this is how it goes. So it's China, Mongolia, Beijing and Yellow Sea, Yellow River and Yangtze River, all bring honor to China. And then we'll look at our map. In class, I generally have a big kind of whiteboard map, black line map that everything is already labeled on. But for right now, we'll use this little one. So China, Mongolia, Beijing and Yellow Sea, Yellow River and Yangtze River, all bring honor to China. So some of the ways that I also will talk about this in class and at home is I use a couple of different resources. The first one being the Cycle 1 passport. I like this because it just is another map for the kids to look at. And it's also fun because it reminds them of the areas that we've already gone to. We stamp it each week, and it's just exciting to see where we've been and where we're going. The other thing that I really enjoy doing with them is reading them the story from Louisiana Jones. You can find it on CC Connected. She uses a lot of context clues to help kind of give reference points to where you are on the map, what you might be looking for. For the Himalayas, you're looking for lots of triangles, and on the map, it's represented by triangles. And so they use that. They'll say, if you're standing in Beijing and you're putting your finger on that dot and you kind of look up, you'll see Mongolia to the north. So they're just kind of fun context clues, and the kids really like them. And so we will read the story and then kind of find the places that she's referencing on the map as she goes through the story. The other thing that we use is also poems. My kids like the poem at home, also on CC Connected. This one, the way that it explains it is through a poem and then also drawing fun little pictures. So for example, they draw China by making a rhino. So again, everybody learns differently. Everybody learns and memorizes things differently. And if your kiddo is especially trying to go for Memory Master, having a variety of tools at your disposal to figure out what works and helps your kid to remember the information the best is the best way to go for your family. So just having the options makes it a lot easier to find out what works. The other thing that we have been doing is also have been using these flashcards from CC. You can get them on the store. These are great just to keep in the car with us. And so I'll say Hebrew Empire, and we can flip it over and find out what are the parts of the Hebrew Empire. The other thing that we have loved doing is I like to hide these and use these also kind of in class as part of review. They are shadow cards. I'll put the link below. But for example, this one is Tell Me About Japan, and they'll pick it up, they'll give me the answer, and then they can shine light behind it. I don't know if you can really see that, but shine a light behind it and then reveal the answer to see if they're correct. So that's another cool one. Got a couple more for you guys at home. And this time of year, you can get all sorts of crazy things at like the dollar store and oh my gosh, at the dollar store and online and even like the Target dollar section. For example, these weird fingers, these fun little pointers. And so you could use these as fun ways to point to the areas that you're looking for on the map. Again, or using these to point to the areas on the map. The other thing that I will do to help the kiddos remember is I took the passport that I was showing you before. I cut out all the pieces on them, and I kind of will hide the parts that we've done so far around the room, or I'll make a pile, and the kiddos will have to get that piece and then run over to our map and point out the locations on the map, which is fun. At least the general area, and then they'll sing the song. Depending on what we're working on. If we're practicing the songs, they'll point to the general area, sing the song. If we're talking about trying to remember exactly where these areas are, so this one's the Fertile Crescent, they have to actually point to the parts of the Fertile Crescent. So that's helpful. And the last fun game that I have for you for reviewing multiple areas, because that's really important for me when I'm both teaching in our tutoring on community day and at home, is making this all come together, that this isn't just the China part. Like, how can we find the areas of China? Well, we can start with India, right? Because we talked about India as our focal point last week, and then we went up to find the Yangtze River that ran through the Himalayan mountains. Now, if we're looking at the Himalayan mountains and we go up, we can find the Yangtze River. And then if we keep going up, we can find the Yellow River. And then if we go and find that first dot, we can find Beijing. And now if we look to Beijing, there's this little kind of inlet from the Pacific Ocean, and that's going to be our Yellow Sea. So using, again, context clues and then taking what we learned last week and this week and just bringing it to life is awesome. But again, that last game that I want to tell you about is Kaboom. I know a lot of people hear about Kaboom when they're talking about skip counting and math facts, but you can also do it for geography. So what I do is I take a bunch of popsicle sticks, and on the bottom of the popsicle sticks, I simply write China, tell me about China, or tell me about the Fertile Crescent. So any of the prompts that you would use for geography for Memory Master, I put them all, as far as we've learned so far, all together. I'll put them in a cup, and I make about 5 to 10 Kaboom sticks. So just a stick that you write Kaboom on the bottom, and put them in a cup. And again, this works in community at home. They will pick a popsicle stick, and for example, it says, this one says Kaboom, but it says, tell me about China. And so they'll have to sing me the song about China, and if they get it right, they get to keep their popsicle stick. If they get it wrong, they have to put the popsicle stick back with the rest of the popsicle sticks. And we keep going around the room, and kids keep collecting and putting back popsicle sticks. Now, say I've collected 3 popsicle sticks. I know about China, I know about the Fertile Crescent, and I know about Egypt. And then I get a Kaboom. Well, all the sticks that I've earned have to go back to the pile for everybody else to grab. And again, there's enough Kabooms. Everybody will get the Kabooms. And so it's just a fun way to practice, especially at home. And again, you can add the element of not only do they have to find or sing the song, but then they have to find it on the map. Again, just depending on where your kiddos are at home. But this is a really, really fun game to play with the kids to practice geography. So I hope those ideas help you and are fun. And if you have any other ideas, please leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear them. See you next week.